Welcome back to the channel. This is the Action Figure Grader. It's Friday. It's time for another what to buy on eBay video. I've got some comic books as well as some vintage Kenner items. As always, thank you for using the affiliate links in the video description. They will be affiliate links to all of these items in case you want to make an offer, buy it now, or place a low bid and then come back to try and win it later. It does credit the channel. Thanks to those of you that do that. One of y'all bought an X-Men number 14 CGC 9.0, the first appearance of the Sentinels. And whoever that was, I just want to make sure to say thanks for using the affiliate links when you bought that. It was not an item I sent out, but you were kind enough to use an affiliate link and then navigate back to it. So thank you for doing that. Whoever that was, I really appreciate that. All right, so let's dig in. I got one modern item. I can't believe this hasn't sold yet. This is an uncirculated 9.5 Saga Collection Bosk, and I've seen AFA 9.0s sell for this price or more. I think I saw a 9.0 last year sell for over 160. So this is obviously the Saga Collection, but it is a 9.5 uncirculated on the modern scale for 130. That feels like a really good deal to me. And it's a buy it now, 130, 7 watchers on that one. I've got some comic books. I think all of these are at auction, or most of these are at auction. We're going to start off with, obviously, the most important Star Wars comic book that there is, which is Star Wars #1 in a 9.8 with white pages. And this was freshly graded, perfectly centered, beautiful colors. And, you know, it's maybe got a little bit of bleed through on the S for the Star Wars, but otherwise a very, very clean copy that was literally just freshly graded. It's at auction. It's at $1,000 right now. This one ends Sunday evening. These have been selling anywhere from $2,600 to $3,000. I'd probably lean towards about $2,800 for this copy. This is a very nicely centered copy and just a little bit of bleed through to it. So I would probably stick with $2,800 or less for my bid on this one. Next up, we've got Star Wars number 42 in a newsstand edition. This is obviously the first appearance of Boba Fett and Yoda in standard US comics. It's a beautiful cover, newsstand edition at auction. This one ends Monday at 7:04 Eastern Time. The newsstands have been selling recently for about $1,100, but there have been some other recent sales as high as $1,300. I would try to aim for $1,100 to maybe $1,200 tops. This was a nicely centered copy and also freshly graded. So, you know, $1,100-$1,200 would be my target. Also, there is a direct edition that has a little bit of a miswrap at the bottom of the book. So factor that into your bidding, but it's a 9.8 and it's also off-white to white pages. This one ends Friday evening. So I release my videos on Friday. Just keep in mind, this one ends pretty quickly thereafter, at 10:14 Eastern Time, PM, Friday evening. Because of the miswrap, you know, and because of the off-white to white pages, I would probably try to stay under $750. That would be my target on this number. They've been selling in a 9.8 with white pages for over $900 lately. So I would say $750 or under for my final bid for a direct edition Star Wars 42 9.8. On to the vintage items, and we've got some heaters. This is the mail-away Boba Fett. This is a really tough to find mail-away. It's 100% complete with the catalog, the note to consumers, and the hard-to-find box. The starting bid is at $750. I think it's worth every penny of that and quite a bit more. But it's the correct baggie. All of the contents are there for that mail-away Boba Fett. And that one ends Tuesday afternoon. He also has the Bosk mail-away, which I would argue is actually harder to find than the Boba Fett mail-away. It's got the flyers and the catalog and the hard-to-find box. This is a very rare item, and the starting bid is very low at $450. AFA-graded examples can sell, depending on the grade, $1,200 to as high as $1,800 or more. So this is a very tough-to-find mail away, 100% complete for Bosk, and that's at $450 for the starting bid. Next up, I've got another baggie. This is the Stormtrooper baggie. This one's at $285. A little bit high maybe, but it's a made in China baggie in very clean condition. It's a heat sealed baggie. This seller does have some others available. This one was my favorite one, and I think it's worth that personally, but you know, maybe you decide not to. Maybe give it a watch. There's 6 watchers on it already. It just got listed, so I expect that one to sell. Next up is a UKG 80% Brazilian glass slate Luke Skywalker. So this is loose graded UKG 80%, and this is from Brazil. Very tough to find factory variant for Luke Skywalker. It's listed at $845, and that's a trusted seller that I've seen sell regularly. Here is an AFA 85 plus silver bodied IG 88, 85 plus gold level from AFA. It's at auction. This one ends Sunday at 11 p.m. Eastern time. It's at $127.50. Again, a trusted seller that I see sell all the time. A buddy of mine has this CAS 85 Lily Letty Luke Skywalker Bespin. It's got the wide-handled Bespin blaster, and it's factory. Everything's factory correct. I know because I remember when he bought this figure loose complete from a trusted seller, and I think he bought it from Jose Del Toro, who is a Lily Letty expert. And I remember him buying it, and he sent it in to get graded himself, and it got the 85. Brown-haired Luke Bespin Lily Letty. It's listed at $550 with a make an offer. I'm shocked it has not sold yet. It's got 15 watchers on it. It's 100% correct accessories, I can tell you that. And I paid more than that for my UKG AF. I paid about this, I should say. I think I paid $550 for my UKG 85 Lily Letty Luke Bespin. That's a mouthful. That's what. Never mind. Next up, we've got a die-cast UKG 80% Millennium Falcon. This one's got a make an offer option. It's got 6 watchers on it, so it's the die-cast Millennium Falcon in near mint minus condition. So that's a very nice example, and it's got a make an offer option. On to the mint on cards, we've got a 47 back Forlam offer Bosk. And we know one just sold in the last Jeff Jacobs Hakes auction that was an AFA 85 that sold for a big number, huge number, over $1,000. I don't remember the exact number, but it was a lot. Okay, it was more than I was willing to pay. I think this one gets an 80 pretty easily. It's clear blister, and it's, you know, unpunched. Got a little bit of light edge wear on the left-hand side of the card, but the blister's in great shape. I think this gets an 80 grade pretty easily, and it's listed for $550. There's 17 watchers on that. I think that one should sell. There's another one that was ungraded, exact same card back, exact same figure that was arguably in not as good a condition as this, that sold for $600, which I thought was also a fair deal. But this one's listed at $550. I think it's going to sell, or it should sell. Next up, Jada 34 has some beautiful mint on cards that are at auction. We've got a 12 back Palatoy C3PO. This one's at $423 and ends Monday evening. And then he also has this one ending Monday evening. This is a tri-logo Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight. This one has this small Meccano style blister, and it's in pretty stunning condition. It does have some yellowing to the blister, which is very common, as you guys know if you follow my channel regularly. I talk about that all the time in my market updates, that the Meccano style smaller blisters, for some reason, they do tend to slightly yellow. And this one appears to have slight yellowing to it. But they're all going to turn that way, in my opinion. I don't know what it is about those particular blister types, but they do yellow. And then you can see the back of the card. This is in really clean condition, really clean condition. It's at $560, and again, that one also ends Monday. We have an AFA 80 Kia Maw from the Droids line, mint on card, very light yellowing, hardly any yellowing to the blister, which is a common problem for the Droids line. 80, 85, 85 are the subgrades. This one's at auction, and it ends Sunday afternoon at 4:27 Eastern time. The current bid is $100.99. Next up, we've got a clear blister 65 back B for R2-D2 sensor scope. And this one is in really clean condition, grade-worthy condition, and unpunched, no price sticker, straight card. I mean, this is a very, very clean example of the 65 back B R2-D2 sensor scope. So it's listed for $475, which seems a tad high to me. But it has a make an offer. It's got 19 watchers already. It just got listed, so I'll be shocked if it doesn't sell. But if it's still available by the time this video airs, it does have a make an offer option. I would try to get at least 50 bucks off. It's worth this price probably if you get it graded and factor in grading costs, because I've seen some high grade examples for a clear blister 65B R2D2 sensor scope. I've seen them go for over $800 recently. There was one that did sell. It was an AFA 80. So anyway, this one's at $475. I still would try to get a couple of bucks off because you're taking the grading risk if you decide to grade this. And $425, maybe $450, but I would try $425 on this one. It's got 19 watchers. Next up, this is a very rare item. Okay, this is a extremely rare item. It just got listed and it's got 24 watchers already. This is a factory sealed sonic controlled land speeder. This is extremely rare, okay? In high grade, they can go for $8,000 or more. I think there was a higher grade example that sold into the 5 figures last year. Don't quote me on that. That's just my memory. I think this is a JCPenney exclusive, and it's factory sealed. I mean, this is a very, very cool item. It obviously has wear. I'm not trying to say it doesn't have wear, but to get it in any condition is very tough to get. And this one is factory sealed from a seller with 100% positive feedback. It's listed with $3,500, make an offer. I mean, that is a holy grail. That's a true grail, in my opinion. So the sonic controlled land speeder, if you're looking for that and you got some deep pockets, it's at $3,500 with a make an offer option. Okay, we're going to talk about CIB. But keep in mind that I got some interesting information from a friend of mine on Instagram. And we're going to cover that in a second. But I at least want to show you a few of the items that are ending this Sunday. And before you bid, take a look at some of the other information I'm going to share. But most of the items that they have that end on Sunday have already gone past what I consider to be a price that I would pay. Okay. So I'm only showing you, I think, 3 items or 2 items that I would consider. I think I've got 3 that I would consider that are still under fair market value. All right. So first is an AFA 85 plus 12 back B C3PO, and it's in beautiful condition. Punched example, no price sticker. It's at $10.75 right now. All of their items in Sunday evening. I think it's still below fair market value. I mean, this is an 85 plus archival case, 285 subscores, 190 subscore. So that is a beauty. Next up, we've got a 65 back B blue lightsaber Luke Jedi, partially unpunched. The hang tab's kind of popping out. It looks like AFA 80 plus archival case, blue saber, 80, 85, 85. It's at $660. There was a CAS 85 plus that just sold to a friend of mine, and I think he paid $1,400, $1,500, somewhere in that ballpark. And we've certainly seen them go higher than that price that he paid, which I would argue was actually a bargain. So a blue lightsaber, 65B, AFA 80 plus. The current bid's only $660 right now. So it is yellow blister, as most of them are. So keep that in mind for your bidding, but it's going to go into the four figures really easily. Next up, we've got a 21B medical droid on a tri-logo. There are a bunch of other tri-logos. I only included 2 because I think the rest of them have gone past a price that I would personally feel comfortable with, as I already said. This is an 85 unpunched. This one's at $400. I think the fair market value on this is $750 to $800. That's where they've been selling recently in CIB auctions. Next up, we've got a punched tri-logo AFA 85 Princess Leia Organa. It's at $830. This one should go at least $2,000 in my opinion. That's the fair market value, in my opinion, for that. Now, I'm going to show you the bidding history on 2 CIB items that ended last week. I've covered them in a different market update video, but I didn't see this information. And shout out to Falcons Gray on Instagram for sharing this information with me. So this one was an AFA 90 12 back B Sand People. And if you look at the bidding history, it's really interesting. Okay. I'm just sharing this information for you to do with you what you will. All right. Somebody with 0 feedback bid $8,000 on it. And then with somebody else bid $8,100 on it. So the current, with 24 minutes to go or thereabouts, It looks like the bid was $3,303. Then it jumped to $8,000 with a zero feedback bidder. And then the final winning bid was $8,100. And then the Tri-Logo AFA 70 Boba Fett. There's two zero feedback bidders. It's one person most likely because it's got the same, characters for their name. But zero feedback, they bid $10,000 and then they bid $13,000. How many people who have never bought on eBay with zero feedback have bid $10,000 for their very first item? Or $13,000 for their very first item? I'm just putting the information out there. Okay? I just want to put that information out there. And I hope that for those of you that watch my channel, that you like this video, and that please, if you don't mind, use the affiliate links in the video description to place any bids, make an offer, or buy it now. And thank you as always for watching, and I'll be back soon.